Hey guys, Billy Epperhart here. I want to welcome you back to another vlog that we're doing. And we're talking about the subject of organizational mastery. And this is a manual that we've written. I also want to remind you that we also have 8 hours of training on video on the subject of organizational mastery that matches the manual. We also have a USB with the audio you can listen to in your car or at home or whatever. So we have these different training materials to help you. Now you can go to the website billyephardt.com and you can get these materials on the website. But I'll tell you, I'm extremely excited to be talking about the subject of organizational mastery. We've been talking about being a leader manager. And today I want to talk to you quickly about two kinds of work that are found in any organization or business. And those two types of work are what I like to call developmental and routine. Now, about 70% of all work in an organization is what we call routine work. Now, routine doesn't mean it's not important, and it shouldn't certainly mean that it's not boring. But what it means is that routine work has to happen for you to deliver your product or service to the people who is basically your target audience or your target customer segment. And that just simply means that there's certain kinds of work, key activities that have to be done day after day, week after week, month after month for you to be able to deliver whatever that product or service is that you have. And so, for example, if we take a nonprofit organization, for example, there are certain things in that nonprofit regarding the service, both to their donors as well as to the people that they're helping, that has to be done week after week, day after day, month after month. We call that routine work. And it's that routine work that we give you the three things on building a system. Number one, you must identify the work that needs to be done. Number one, you've got to identify it. That is, call it what it is, have a name for it. Number two, you must standardize it. And that simply means that standardizing is taking the steps that are necessary to get the work done. For example, if a janitor is cleaning the offices, for example, and they work for you in your business or your nonprofit, then you basically have a simple job outline you give them on the things that they must do to clean the particular building every time they do it. That's standardizing the work. And then the third thing you do in routine work is you learn to direct that work. In other words, you hand the job outline or job description to the person and say, here's what needs to be done. But where most people miss it on routine work is that in routine work, that's what you train people to. So you must train them to that job outline or must train them to that job description on how to actually do the job. So it must be identified, standardized, and then it can be directed. So most routine work in small businesses and in nonprofits, usually of any size, has not been identified and standardized. The other thing I would say to you about routine work is that routine work is what is really where your key performance indicators, people call KPIs, that's really, it should be the routine work that the key performance indicators are actually reporting on. An example would be if you're not growing in numbers or you're not increasing and are headed towards some of your objectives, then your key performance indicators, which I'm not teaching on now, I'm just matching it today, that's where you use that is in the routine work. The second kind of work that's found in an organization is developmental work. Now really, we hear the word tossed around today in all kind of leadership books and business books. We hear the word innovation. So when we use the term developmental, that's what we mean. We mean innovation. And innovation, most of the time, once you get outside of what we call research and development, most of the time it's actually project work that has been assigned, something new that's trying to be accomplished inside of the organization. Now, for a good, healthy organization to move forward, about 30% of all work should be developmental work. It means that you can't capture it in a job outline, you can't capture it in policies and procedures, you're not going to capture it in a job description. It's going to be project work. And project work, of course, there's many really good project management software that's out there that you can use to help manage developmental work. But the reason we're bringing this up is this. As a leader, you must understand even yourself, about 70% of what you do would be routine and about 30% would be project. Now, the exception to that would be someone who already has other managers, leader managers working under them to make sure that the 70% gets done. Then, and let's say you're a CEO or you're the head of the organization or a nonprofit, then really those numbers I give you, the 70-30, should be reversed. 70% of what you should do as the leader should be developmental or innovation work, and 30% should be the routine, where you're checking up on people and making sure that the business or the organization is delivering the value proposition for its product or its service. So developmental work is becoming increasingly more important, but it's also critical for you to continue to move forward in either your vision or either in your strategic plan. So if you're the head of the organization, complete it, and you have other leader managers reporting to you, then you reverse the 70-30, and 70% of what you do is developmental and 30% is routine. So let me say this about innovation and about developmental work, and that is this: as a leader, if you're in that position, then you must continue to focus your particular energies on where are we going from here, because you're the one providing direction. So don't be afraid to spend time yourself in research, reading, and other things to make sure you continue to move the organization where it needs to be. The other thing I want to encourage you as a leader manager is this: when it comes to developmental or innovation work, do not overload the people that are in your organization that are actually carrying out the 70% of routine work. We call it enterprise capacity. And what happens is that if they really are delivering and doing 70% of the work, and that's routine work, if you come in and put more than 30% developmental on them or innovation work on them, in other words, instead of giving them 2 projects or giving them 6 projects, what happens is that the enterprise capacity of the organization or business will shrink, and you end up finding that your key performance indicators on your routine work are starting to go down or starting to have problems because you have affected or negatively affected the enterprise capacity. So make sure when you're looking actually at project management work that you try to keep a balance between that 70-30 so that your organization continues to be healthy. This is Billy Epworth. I want to thank you for watching these vlogs that we do, and I'll see you right here again on another vlog.